here in Miami that, I knew we were going to win a lot of games for a long time, and it was fun, and most fun time of my life. But going to the Dallas Cowboys, it was special, and it was a challenge. And I think that's why a lot of coaches leave college to go give professional football a shot. The challenge, their own egos, and that's what it was for me. I didn't expect to win as much. I didn't expect to have as much fun, but there was a challenge for me, and it's something I felt like I had to do. And I actually, if people look back on the write-ups, I actually told the team, this is not really something I want to do. This is something I have to do, just for my own. Now, I didn't realize that we were going to have the success that we had with Dallas. Butch Davis talked to me about before he went to Cleveland, and I said, Butch, don't think that everything's going to fall into place for you like what had happened in Dallas. I said, you can go up there, and I said, if history proves me right, you can save 3 or 4 years, make a lot more money, and then go back to college. And that's kind of how it happened. But a lot of coaches have tried, making that transition, leaving great situations in college, just because of their own ego. Of, hey, I gotta check this challenge out. And some have done well, and some have not done well. But as far as just enjoying life, college football for a head football coach was so much more fun.
What was it other than the sheer winning that made it so enjoyable?
The players, you're more than a head football coach. I was in my office continually with young kids coming into my office and being homesick. Young kids that had financial problems, young kids that had academic problems, and that they thought they came there to get ready for pro football, but then they realized they had to get ready for life. I used to have a meeting on Thursday nights, and I said, every one of you, I'm going through the room, and I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do when you leave the University of Miami? And I said, you can't say you're going to play pro football. So you have to tell me what you're going to do with the rest of your life. And so it's a lot more than X's and O's. It's a lot more than just coaching players. You don't have the players holding out, and their agents, wanting more money. In professional football, it's a business, and it's a very expensive business. College football, you got young kids that are growing up, and that was extremely rewarding for me. I became so close to some of those players because I felt like I played a part in them growing up. I played a part in them becoming men, and that's why it was fun.
You think it would be as much fun now because of college football?
Yeah, I think so, because you're dealing with young kids. Now they may not act like young kids, but that's what they are. And I think the other thing too, by the time they get to professional football, they've been through a lot, especially if you come from a big program. They've done interviews. They've been through all the adversity of growing up. Then it's about how much money am I going to make? I've got a job. So I don't think it's changed. You still got 17, 18-year-old kids leaving home for the first time in their life. 17, 18-year-old kids that maybe didn't have a daddy or maybe didn't have a mom. Their grandmother raised them. And all of a sudden, they're out in the world and they got to be a big man. They got to act like they know what they're doing. And they really don't know what they're doing. So I don't think it's changed. And that's, for a head football coach in college, it's extremely rewarding to deal with these young people. Our guys, a lot of people didn't like our approach because they had what we call the swagger. But our guys were disciplined. If you check back the records, we were not a highly penalized team. I didn't let guys get away with being penalized. And so they were confident, and maybe they were free-spirited, but they were good kids. Like I said, our guys, they got their diplomas. Now, one reason they got their diplomas, I made sure, I almost required them to go to summer school. For the simple reason I had a tough time finding summer jobs for them. And so they could go to summer school and still be on scholarship. And so while they were going to summer school, they ended up getting extra credits, and so they ended up getting their diplomas. So that's why I say, and people are surprised when I say this, that one of the things that I'm most proud of is the graduation rate. I mean, I took kids from the streets, and they came there thinking they were going to go be a pro football player. And I just went back to Miami on their spring reunion with a bunch of people, and you don't know how many of them came back to me and said, "Coach, I got my diploma because of you," and I appreciate that.
It's really kind of a gold mine down there for recruiting.
Yeah, I told Al Golden when he first got there, I said, "Al, you're not going to have the facilities of your competitors. I mean, University of Miami is not a rich school. They have very few alumni. They've got a low alumni base. I said, you're not going to have some of the things that these other schools have, the huge home stadium. You're going to end up traveling up to play in another stadium. I said, there are a lot of things that you don't have, but the one thing that you do have, you got the opportunity to get players. You can get good football players here. If you work at recruiting, you can bring in talented players. And for a head football coach, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for the opportunity to win. And they'll give you the opportunity to win.
How much does Miami miss the Orange Bowl?
Oh, the Orange Bowl was great. But, that was a big debate when it happened, moving out of the Orange Bowl and moving up to, what is it called, Sun Life Stadium or whatever it is now. But, I said, hey, there's a lot of people are going to miss the Orange Bowl, where it was, and that place got to rocking. When it was full, it was great. I said, but you're also going to enjoy the amenities of the new stadium too. It's just a great facility.
When you were coaching both in professional and collegiate time, there was no social media, there was no internet. What do you tell players now that you weren't able to tell players then to try to prepare them for what they were going to expect?
I think a lot of it's they've got to experience it, and they got to experience some of the adversity. But by the same token, they've got to grow up fast. I mean, because they get into college, they've never been involved in this before. But I think a lot of them are prepared for it before they get to college too. I mean, you talk about these are kids in junior high school. They're on Twitter, and so it's not like when please, I'm just now figuring out how to do Twitter myself. Bradshaw, I still can't get him to do Twitter. I got him to do texting last year. He's texting it now. And so, I mean, it's a different generation now.
But between the generation gaps, I mean, how is it so different between the times when you were in college compared to now?
I think the biggest problem, and this is a problem that Miami ran into here just recently, is there's so much visibility. I mean, you don't get away with anything now. Nothing happens that the entire world doesn't know about. And so I think they've got to be even more careful about their associations, what they're doing. We've all heard the stories from the old timers. Well, back when I was in school, we did this and we'd gotten kicked out for that. Well, and we all know that. But they can't do that. They have to understand now you can't do those things. And I think more than anything else, you've got to be careful who you associate with. You got to be careful when you're getting out. You know if you're getting out of line. You know if it's right. You know if it's wrong.
Right.
And so don't think that you're going to get away with anything, because with the way the sport is covered now, the visibility with the social network, you're not going to get away with anything. So don't think you are.
Coach Golden can get past this. And,
do I?
Do you think Coach Golden?
Yeah, I like Al. I like Al Golden. He's doing it the right way. He's an outstanding recruiter. He's very disciplined. I like his approach. I think he was the perfect guy to get Miami.